Hello, welcome to with me, OneAndroid, to another video of Weekly Answer, in which this week most of the anime I was watching for this season has ended, so quickly to try and go over all those, starting off with Can a Boy-Girl Friendship Survive, in which, honestly, I don't really enjoy this that much and all that, despite it being a romance and everything, but it's mostly just purely because of all the forced drama in it. The forced manufactured drama that is honestly just stupid, to be honest. Wasn't really helped out by the fact that the characters themselves weren't honestly that good either. And the only one that I think you could say is actually good is Rion, which is purely because she is just straightforward and honest about everything, basically. But yeah, honestly, I think the final episode might have been anime original. I'm not exactly sure about that, to be honest, but kind of seems like it might have been something like that. But yeah, I do know that this anime probably would have been better if it wasn't for all the stupid drama in it, but yeah. That's all I really gotta say for this thing, so moving on to the next thing, which is I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level season 2. So yeah, not much to say for this because it's a slice of life kind of anime and everything, so yeah. All that's really happened throughout this season, to be honest, was more characters introduced and stuff. Only one of which actually becomes a part of Azusa's family, and yeah, that's it, to be honest. I don't have anything else to mention, so moving on. From an old country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, which was decent at the very least, though I don't think it really has much going on when it comes to a story currently at the very least. And surprisingly, little romance in it, considering the amount of girls in the anime, with only one of them that actually kind of sees Beryl that way. And from what I can tell, the sword fighting in it is pretty good when it comes to animation and being realistic, I think. But overall, I think the anime was kind of just decent. I imagine it will probably be better if it actually starts focusing more on the story, which I guess we'll get to see if it actually starts doing that in the second season that has already been announced, surprisingly. So moving on to the next anime, I'm the evil lord of Intergalactic Empire, which was a pretty generic anime despite its having kind of unique setting for an isekai reincarnation anime, with its being a sci-fi magic world, basically. But yeah, it was honestly pretty generic despite that bit of uniqueness to it, considering, yeah, Liam, he's not actually evil. He's basically in a world where literally everyone is evil. He is trying to be evil, but in order to really be evil, he has to be good. Though he doesn't actually realize that, of course. But overall, story-wise, it's the kind of story where everything basically goes perfectly for Liam, despite him being stupid, to be honest. Considering just the fact that he believes just blatantly obvious lies and stuff, he still succeeds at absolutely everything he does. So, yeah. That does help it to not be generic at all. So, yeah. That's all I got to say there, so moving on to the next thing, which is Yandere Dark Elf. She chased me all the way from another world, which was a decent, edgy anime, I guess. I didn't really enjoy it all that much, because Belle was kind of a bit too much for me, to be honest. With her being a yandere and everything there. It's like, I would think she would at least have enough sense to not sexually assault Hinata in public, but she does that throughout the entire anime. So, yeah. Tone down the yandere-ness of Belle, and I probably would have enjoyed it more. So, yeah. Moving on to Makina-san is a love bot, which was good at the very least. Best out of the 3 ecchi anime we had this season that I watched at the very least. And I think that's mostly just due to the comedy in it, along with the fact that Makina, I think, was basically just completely naked for at least a third or maybe even up to a half of the anime. So yeah, that was one thing there. But other than that, it doesn't really have much of a story there, and all it really has is the comedy, which is basically all revolves around Makina being a sex robot that doesn't actually know anything about sex. So, yeah, that's all I got to mention for that one. So moving on to Aharen-san Season 2, which, from what I can tell, it basically had a 1-year time skip between the first season and this season. So, entire year's worth of stuff that got skipped over immediately with this season. And then even in the final episode, we also got another time skip, which is honestly probably one of the largest time skips I think I've ever seen in an anime, to be honest. Considering I think we basically were just before their graduation from high school and everything, I think. And the final episode starts off with Harusan being a grandmother all of a sudden. That just came out of nowhere right there. Just that massive fucking jump into the future. Meanwhile, Rido is on Mars for some reason. But yeah. Overall, I think the season was better than the first, to be honest, because it kind of moved away from its trendy comedy, I guess I would call it. Considering the first season's comedy kind of really focused on things that were trendy at the time. And this season here, it doesn't do that as much, at the very least, from what I can tell. Though it's still not exactly the kind of comedy I would enjoy that much, to be honest. It's somewhat enjoyable, not my kind of comedy at all, honesty. But overall, I guess, when it comes to the time skips, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if quite a bit of the story was, of course, skipped, and that's 1-year time skip between the seasons, and also towards the end of the episodes there. I wouldn't be surprised if a decent bit was also cuts there. But overall, I think it was a pretty satisfying ending for the anime overall. So, I guess that's all for that one. So, moving on to Zatsu Tabi, That's Journey, which is honestly kind of just a slice of life anime, to be honest, where a mangaka starts traveling to get inspiration for her manga, and that of course ends up becoming a very expensive hobby for her, where she's just traveling to random places in Japan. And that's all the anime really is, to be honest. It's just one of those anime where that's basically tourism ads for Japan, pretty much. Overall, good, I guess. But that's it. So, moving on to the next thing here, which is the Shiunji Family Children, which is a surprisingly good anime, considering the fact that it's made by the author of Rent-a-Girlfriend. So, yeah, honestly, all the characters I think are actually pretty good, and 4 of them have already said I love you to Arata at least once, I guess. With Seiha being the only one that hasn't, I think, unless I'm forgetting something. But, yeah. Final episode, I guess, there, you got Gotono, Oka, and Minami all coming clean to each other about their feelings for him, I guess. Overall, I guess is kind of good, though I think this season was, for the most part, kind of just introducing the characters, getting things going, basically, and that's it for the most part. Overall, I would say it was good. I just hope that Reggie does not fall in love with one of his own creations again, so this doesn't end up becoming another Rent-a-Girlfriend. Guys, I'm pretty sure that was a problem with her. boyfriends and girlfriends for the most part. Instead, I fell in love with Chizuru. But yeah, moving on to the next thing here, which is Apocalypse Hotel, which was one of my favorite anime for the season, to be honest. Which was kind of a slice of life comedy anime, pretty much. With hoteler robots still running a hotel after humanity had to abandon Earth. And they are now, of course, serving aliens that have started showing up nearly a century after humanity left, I think. And kind of just to skip to the end when it comes to humanity there. Humanity is still around, live and everything. Got Tomari coming to survey Earth in that final episode to check Earth's atmosphere to see if it's actually safe for them to return, and yeah. Earth's atmosphere is back to normal, but humanity's been up in fucking space for centuries at that point, so their immune system basically gone to shit. So they're not exactly compatible with Earth's atmosphere anymore, and can no longer live on Earth, unless they do domes and stuff, I guess. But yeah. I guess I also kind of have a sneaking suspicion that Tomari might actually be a descendant of the owner, and that's purely just going by her character design. Just saying. But yeah, overall, it was definitely one of my favorites for the season. Very unique anime, that's for sure. But honestly, I don't think I exactly have much else to mention, because again, this is kind of a slice of life anime comedy as well. Not a lot to say when it comes to these kinds of things, so yeah. Moving on to your Forma, which was alright, I guess, for a mystery detective anime, which, to be honest, when it comes to that kind of anime, just being alright probably is not a good thing, to be honest. But yeah, honestly wasn't that interesting, to be honest there, though it did start getting better towards the end, where it's basically after it finally actually adapted the first volume of the story, it actually started getting interesting. When we finally got Ichika's and Harold's backstories. But yeah, it wasn't that good, but it was just alright overall. I don't have anything else to say for it, to be honest. So moving on to our last Crusade and the Rise of a New World Season 2, which has finally ended after nearly an entire year since it started airing, due to it being delayed after episode 3 because of how bad the animation was, which is still not that good, to be honest. And overall, the whole season was kind of just bad. With the animation, of course, being the one obvious thing there. But also the story, considering all that I think really actually happened to the season was the beginning of a fucking coup again in the sovereignty. And that's it. That's all that actually really happens from what I remember already at this point. So none of the problems that were actually created during the season were solved at all. It's like Sisbel got kidnapped. Nothing's been actually been done yet when it comes to actually be able to actually saving her. Considering that apparently would be a thing that happens in the third season that we're highly unlikely to get at this point, I doubt. I'm pretty sure. I just think that story-wise, it kind of just was a very bad spot for it to actually just end the season at, considering the fact that I just highly doubt it's getting a third season after how bad this one was. So, yeah. Sad considering I'm pretty sure the story's actually kind of good, but it's gone to shit because of this adaptation. It's been so bad for it. But yeah, moving on to the next thing, which is a ninja and assassin under one roof, which is the best comedy anime of this season, without a question. That is for sure. Which is also weirdly wholesome and dark at the same time. And a dark part of that is just due to the fact that there is so much death in it from all the assassins that are getting killed. So yeah. And most of those assassins are basically just doing their job that they were assigned when it comes to trying to kill Satoko. And that's it. That's the reason why they die, because they were trying to kill Satoko. Though some of them actually did absolutely deserve to die, I think. But yeah, even when it comes to like the final episode there, I kind of noticed that in the ending thing there's one ninja there that we haven't actually seen yet. And of course that ninja showed up in the after credits, only to get killed within 30 seconds of showing up. Just like all the rest of them basically. All of these ninjas with unique character designs and everything all basically die within 30 seconds of being introduced. Seriously, how much time did the author spend designing those characters only just instantly kill them? Seriously. At least you got them as ghosts as well, I guess, and get to see bits of that. Sometimes at least. But ignoring all that, it's honestly quite a wholesome comedy anime, to be honest. Though I guess it's also kind of a slight bit of a Yuri bait when it comes to like Satoko and Konoha, and there's actually one Yuri ship in it as well when it comes to the leader as well there. So yeah, definitely a Yuri bait with an actual Yuri ship amongst the characters there. So yeah, that's nice I guess. But moving on to the next and final anime I got for this week, which is a Rock as a Lady's Modesty, which is of course a music anime, without obviously, which has an instrumental rock band, which honestly, overall when it comes to anime itself here, kind of spent quite a while just getting things going, to be honest, considering the band actually only really officially formed in like episode 9 or 10, I think it was, which kind of left me wondering what I was going to do with the last few episodes that were remaining, which my guess was completely wrong when it comes to that, because I was guessing it was going to be more drama when it comes to Lisa's little sister there, but it wasn't. It was just another battle of the bands against a bunch of nobodies. But yeah, still overall pretty good, I would say. Though I think the best thing in it was just the shit talking. And that's it. And I think that might just be purely because it's not often you get to see shit talking in anime. But yeah, that there is all of the anime for this week completed. So yeah, I guess I only have one other thing I want to mention here right quick, which is Azur Lane, considering, yeah, the rerun that we had this last week. When it comes to ships for it, I end up getting Kruidensberg, U556, and Bismarck Zwei twice each. But I only got Otto von Alvensleben after 140 fucking pulls. Seriously, why was it so hard for me to get her when I got all the other ships for the event twice already? It's just, god damn. It's like U556 is only a 0.5 chance of getting her, and I got her twice. Bismarck Zwei, the fucking UR, got her twice. The other super rare with 2% chance on her as well, like Otto. Got her twice, but still took me 140 pulls to get Otto von Alvensleben for some fucking reason. But hey, at the very least I managed to get her. But, yeah. I guess that's all I have to mention for this week, because I don't think I have anything when it comes to War Thunder or World of Warships to mention, to be honest. So, yeah, there is the end of this video here for this week. So, yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.